In this tutorial, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to customize your Cadence child theme. Now, just a heads up, this is going to be kind of a quick tutorial. I'm not going to go through every single little thing because there's honestly just so much you can do. You can really customize just about anything down to the colors, the fonts, the layout, the margins and padding. There's mobile options, so much more. For this video, I am going to work with the day's child theme, but this tutorial will be for all Cadence child themes. This is because all Cadence child themes will have the same exact customizer options that you see here in this video. So let's just dive in and get started. So from your WordPress dashboard, let's go to Appearance and then Customize. Okay, now we're at the customizer. So most of the customizations to your Cadence child theme are going to be done here as far as your colors, your fonts, your header and footer, things like that. The content within the pages, like all of this content that you see here, is going to be done within the actual pages. And I will make another video for that so I can show you guys how to edit those pages and add your own content. So let's just go ahead and start with the header. That's this area up here. So if you look at the bottom, you can see I've got three sections here. We've got the top row, the main row, and the bottom row. So the top row is showing my primary navigation, and I've got my social and my search up here. In the main row, I've got my logo and another menu and my cart button. I don't have anything in the bottom row, but it's really easy to add some items. So let's just add a button. You can add a button. You can simply just drag and drop these items. So let's say I wanted to move my social over here. You can do that. Maybe you want your cart button to be up here instead. You can do that as well. Really, your options are just endless. Now, you've also got your tablet and mobile tab right here. This off canvas area is going to be this. This is on your mobile. So let's say I wanted my social icons to be at the bottom. And now you can see they've moved. You can also change up the way all of this looks as well. So let's say you wanted that trigger to be at the top instead. Okay, now there's also these setting icons right here, these little toggles. If you click that, you can go to the design tab on the left and you can change the colors. So let's say I wanted my mobile navigation links to be this pink color. You can see how that changes there. You can also hover over these and it will tell you, you can hover over these colors and it will tell you what they're for. So you've got the initial color. This is your hover color. So if I wanted that to be black, instead of orange, it's now that black color. And you've got your active color, so the page that you're currently on. So we're on the home page. So this is going to be orange because it's telling us that's the page that we're currently on. Again, there's all other kinds of options here. You can change the font. I'll go over that in a minute. So let's go back. Let's go back to the desktop. Okay, so now you've got some other options here. Actually, let me click this design tab so I can show you. Whenever you see this design tab, it's just options for like borders, the colors, sometimes the fonts. So you can see for our header, our background color is white. Well, you can change that if you wanted. You would just change that right in here. Okay, so now we're back here, back in our header. You can see we've got these other options right here. We've got a transparent header. So instead of this being white, we can enable that. And now you can see that it's got a transparent background. And you've got some other design settings here. Let's go ahead and take that back off. You've also got a sticky header. So when I scroll, you can see that the top row sticks. I've got this set to only top row. Let's do the main row and just see how that looks. So now when we scroll, you can see, and again, you can click this design tab. So when it scrolls, let's say we want the background color to be this light tan color instead. Okay, or you can turn the opacity down and it can be transparent if you want. I'm going to put that back. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to upload a logo. I've already uploaded this to my media, so I'm just selecting it. I'm going to hit skip cropping because if I crop this, you're not going to be able to see my logo. So I'm just going to skip it. Now you can see I've got my logo image and I've also got the text as well. If I just wanted the logo, I could click logo only. You could also have your logo, title, and tagline here. And you can also change the position of the way it displays here. But I think I'm just gonna just do the logo. You can also adjust the width. So I think maybe a little bit bigger. Let's just do 280. I think that looks pretty good. If you notice these little icons here, this is for desktop, tablet, and mobile. So whenever you see these, it's going to change the way it looks on that device. So let's say on mobile, I think that logo is way too big and it's actually hiding my menu toggle. So on mobile, let's say I only want it to be about 100 pixels. And again, I only want the logo to display. Actually, let's make that a little bigger. Maybe 140. Okay, and now you can do the same thing on your tablet. And you can see how this resizes for you when you click on these, just so you can see how it would look on each device. Okay, so let's go back to desktop. Okay, so let's go to the General tab and I'm going to go over the colors and fonts and a few other things that you see in here. So let's just start with colors. Each Cadence child theme will come with 3 different predefined color palettes. These are called global palettes. So when you choose one of these, it's going to affect the entire website. But there is a way to override some of these colors if you need to change something specific. So if we chose palette 2 and I wanted to change this top bar color, we could simply edit this by going to the design tab and changing that color out for the top row right there. It doesn't need to stay this color from the global color palette. So let's go back to colors. For this tutorial, I'm going to start out with this palette too. Now you can edit these colors to whatever you want. All you need to do is click on them and you can use the color picker to change your colors, or if you know what your branding color hex codes are, you can simply copy and paste those right here in this box. So I think I'm gonna change this yellow color. I'm just gonna make it a pink, maybe a little more pink, maybe a little lighter. Okay, that looks pretty good. I might make this color just a little more red. Okay. Okay, so you've also got some other color options here. Your content background, your site background color. You've got your links here. So let's find a link. This is a link right here. So we can easily change this. Now you can see we've got that pink color there. So let's go back and let's go to typography. This is your base font here. This is going to be your body font. So let's just go to, actually, let's find this section here. This is our body font right here. Let's go ahead and let's select a new font. You're going to find every Google font in here. You can just scroll and you can actually just click on them and you can see them change. So let's do DM Sans. And then if you click on regular right here, you can see you've got some other options. So if you wanted it bolder, you can go to the size, and this is where you can change the font size, the line height, which is the space between two lines of text, or the letter spacing, which is the space between the letters. So we could maybe space that out just a little bit. And I think I'm just going to put this at 16 pixels. Maybe move the line height up just a tad. Okay, that looks pretty good. We've got our heading font family. Oh, also because this is a body font, I do want to load the italics here. So let's move on to the heading font. Let's try Baskerville. And now you can see that's changed. These are all of your headings, H1 through H6 right here. So when you see inherit, that just means that that font is going to inherit the heading font family right here. But you can change this. So this is our H1 right here. You can actually change the font of each individual heading if you really wanted to. So you could just change it to Arial Black or something. But I just wanted to show you how you can choose a font for a specific heading right there. And again, you can go to style. Maybe you wanted it to be italic. You can change the sizes. And here's these little icons again. So maybe I don't want my H1 to be so large on mobile. I think that looks a little big. So, I mean, we can always make that just a little bit smaller so it doesn't take so much space on, you know, an iPhone where it's already a very small screen. So I think I'm just going to put this back. Okay, and let's go back to our desktop here. Let's go back. Let's go to our buttons. Now, some of the buttons that you see here were actually edited in the pages themselves. So, like these ones are different than these buttons, but these are our global buttons. So, you can see how you can change the colors of those here. Okay, you can also change, here's the button text color. You can change the padding if you wanted. Let's do, some bigger buttons there. Okay, let's go back. There's a couple other things. Again, I'm not really going to go through every single little thing. I really encourage you to just kind of play around. But let me show you one more thing, the scroll to top button. So when we scroll, you can see this little button here. This is our scroll to top button. So when you click on it, it just takes you back up to the top of the page. But we can edit how this looks here. You can select the icon. You can see how that changed over here. You can change the icon size, the alignment. Maybe instead of on the right, you wanted it to be over here on the left. You can see, you can choose the visibility. So I don't want it displayed on mobile because again, that screen is already so small. I don't really want it, I don't really want anything else taking up any more space. So I'm gonna leave it off of mobile. You will not see this button on mobile. And again, here's that design tab. So you click on this and you can adjust the colors of your scroll to top button here. Okay, so let's go back. And the social links. This is where you can add your social URLs here. So you would add your Facebook page link, your Twitter link, your Instagram. You've got all kinds of options here. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to layout real quick. I do want to show you just a couple things. So this is the width you see here. You can go ahead and change this if you wanted it to be smaller. Say you only wanted it to be maybe 1100. You're going to see the content width change. It's going to be a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to blog posts. I want to show you guys just a couple things you can do on here. This is our archive layout. Now we've got a few settings in here. You can toggle on or off the archive title. It's going to say blog. Again, you hit that design tab right there. You're going to be able to edit the design of a few things. Okay, so let's go back. You can have that just at the top with no background. You can change the alignment. You can show your breadcrumbs if you want to, which really just shows you where you are. You can add a sidebar. Okay. And this style that you see here is the boxed layout, but you can choose unboxed if you want to. You can change the number of columns. If you go up to this design tab, you can change the background color. So there's just so much you can do here. So there is one last thing I want to show you, which is some of the footer settings. Let's go to footer and let's scroll all the way down. So again, you can see we've got these three sections here for the footer. Again, you've got your top row, your middle row, and your bottom row. And just like at the top in the header, you can drag and drop. So if I wanted these links here to be right here next to the social, I could do that. And you could click in here to add something else. If you want to add a widget, let's add a widget too. And then we're going to click this the setting toggle icon. And you can see up here you can add a widget. Let's say we could just do an image. Maybe my submark, or something like that. You can edit the top row, the middle row. Let's edit the middle row so I can show you just a couple things. Actually, let's edit the bottom row. So I think I'm going to add the footer navigation. The difference between these menus here and this navigation here is the footer navigation will display the links horizontally. So normally you're probably going to want to put those links next to your copyright. Maybe you would want to add, your privacy policy link, your terms and conditions page, or something like that. So let's click the settings toggle for the bottom row. Again, you've got just different options here. You can even add columns, so you can see there's only one column here. You can change that. We can add 2 columns, and then maybe we want to move that over there. And let's change this to full width. Okay, and let's edit this copyright. I'm going to align this to the left, so that's pushed over to the left. And then I'm going to edit this footer navigation as well, and I'm going to put that on the right. Okay? Again, there's mobile options as well. So we can, let's say for mobile, see how these are stacked on top of each other? That's because this layout right here is chosen. You could have them right next to each other, but it just looks a little crammed. You've got different options here. You can also change the order. So instead of the copyright, how it was on the left before, we can arrange how these are on mobile. So maybe you want it right to left instead. Okay. You've got some widget spacing, column spacing. You can move that up if you wanted there to be a little more spacing there in between those. And you've got all of your design styles. So let's go to this middle row here. And let's go back to our desktop view. You can edit the design of this section here. So if you wanted to change the background, you can add a border. Let's do one. You can edit the alignment if you wanted to have, a little border right in between there. Or something like that. There's, again, so many options that you can do. Okay, I think that's probably the last thing I want to show you guys. I really encourage you guys to just play around. It really can't hurt, and it's really fun, to play around, but it can be a little frustrating. But I think the longer you play around and just get a feel for the different like desktop, mobile, and tablet sizes, and playing around with the design tabs, and you can really get your site looking exactly how you want it and to really match your branding. So if you guys have any questions, I'm always happy to help. You can reach out to me, or you can fill out a support ticket. I am always happy to help.